So here we are in episode 8 of The Demon Girl Next Door. It seems like we are going to see our orange magical girl, and we're going to find out what is her relationship with Momo. So we'll just have to see. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access on the YouTube memberships. But other than that, let us get started. Maybe she's just a cosplayer. How it used to. Casual cosplay vacation. Uh-oh. 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 Severely injured. A slave to damn, dude. Fucking rumors, dude. Goddamn. It's super broad strokes. After a pound down. Uh-oh. Her fear of a magical girl fucking beating her up. It's slowly becoming reality. So, she hasn't been here in a while, so she moved out, right? So I assume this goes even more on the idea that it's Momo's non-blood related sister, right? We're sisters, but not really. I can't quit yet. Oh no! Pretty sus, huh? Uh-oh! Tama juice. Yeah, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh shit, come back in the corner, into this alleyway. Ooh, fucking cab it down and telling her to strip. Oh shit! Whoa there, what? There's a pervert in this alleyway. I don't want the pound down. Immediately. Gotta run. Run! Get out of here! Run to Momo! Suffering. Wow, immediate pity. Oh, there's Momo. Mikan, the sour Mikan. Ah, calling to help you out. Ah. Oh. Just because she's short doesn't mean that the fuck. Oh. Oh, and because she's so used to being called Shamiko. Oh. The demon statue is just chilling over there. The disrespect. Well, you can't have two Momo. Kin. You don't love. You're not a gym rat like Momo. Oh no! Oh no, the tsundere! I was kind of wondering if Mikan, like, what? Oh, Mikan's power. She has bad luck? Uh-oh. It's just a big disaster. Well, it's her elixir, yeah. The curse. So like when her, I would say like when her heart races, or like when she goes a little out of control in terms of her feelings, emotions. Distraught. Misfortunes. You're connected to specifically? Please don't praise me. Oh no, the tsundere! R.I.P. Lilith. She just had a broken fucking shackle on her. Cuffs. Strategy meeting for the introduction. Uh-oh. Well, she did fly. She... Oh no, in the burnable trap. Oh. Oh, she's on the other side. She's behind you. The way she stretches her tail. No, she wasn't naked. She was half naked. Alright. Transform now. Ah, we gotta train you while you're... Neighborhood pervert. Oh my god, it's like the breathing. Constant, you know? From Demon Slayer. All these people in the back. Oh, the 0.1 second, dude. Elementary. Oh, she's got the deeds, dude. The true magical girl, huh? Uh-oh. The pain of Momo's food. Wait, you're praising her. Well, it is a crisis management forum for a reason. You're not in a crisis. Yeah, it's a crisis management forum. Uh-oh. Oh! For your sake and the sake of the city. 2 weeks later. What? Dematerialize? Like she just vanished? Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. They become ether of magic, yeah. Well, she hasn't had a W in her life. How would she know? Or what exactly, huh? Oh, she did just fall asleep for a few minutes. Just start shooting at her feet, she'll transform. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, I wanna acknowledge her. Boop! A sharper. The backside of my blade. You're going to back. Oh. Yeah, for this modern time, yes. Yeah, have you tried it out yet? Look, you can use all those other stuff to eventually take down magical girls, right? So. Well, we learned, what, last episode? That magical girls are essentially, hold on, I wrote it down here. An ether of incredibly high density magic, right? And so, yeah, losing blood is like the same as just them losing their life. Except they're losing magic, but then they just can't keep a physical form, but then like their soul is still up or about and like scattered, which now kind of goes to the question of like, can they be recovered if you're able to give them more magic or whatever, or they just scatter and they just fuck off somewhere. All right, no, that's over. I'm gonna go write my notes and we will be right back to the center. I think whoever gave you that info must only explain things in super broad strokes. Well, you know, she is correct. Hey, cutie. Hey, cutie. Why don't we pound down some tea? A Kansai dialect. Which is also funny, just gets like to drink or consume something quickly. Hey, girl. You wanna fucking chug tea with me? Glug, glug, glug. The cursed fruit, beware the sour Mikan. Mikan is, the name Mikan is like, or the word, right? Is that like I assume that's like a fruit since she's like an orangey person? Tangerine! Yes, the sour tangerine. Okay, curses fruit. Okay. I will say this, this woman with the dog, man, she's just all around the place. And I think this is the same dog that's like that Momo is afraid of, if I remember correctly. And it's the same girl who came out with like the crisis management forum. Came out and she saw Yuko's crisis management forum and she just looked at her and just like, God damn. I was thinking about that, and then when I was looking at the My Anime list, there's literally just her in there as well, just because I would assume she just has made enough appearance where we can just count her as a supporting character. Fun times, dude. Fun times. Them in an alleyway. One of them, hey, strip down, I say. And the other person, please, I don't want to pound out. I would never pound down on someone so weak and defenseless. God damn, dude. The savagery. I'm here like you asked. I want to see you bow your head so far in appreciation that it melts into the ground. You said friend, but you know, it's funny that like she does this like 110, and it kind of makes me wonder if like I would assume maybe Japan's system works the same, but if not, I'm just going to say this as it would here in America, right? That is, I don't particularly know if it works on, I mean, I feel like if it works on regular phones, like home phones, it might end up working on on your cell phone as well. Not really sure, but the one really interesting thing that I've learned firsthand is that when you press 911 and you don't call, they still get the call anyways, because like they know that you have pressed 911. Like the moment you press 911, they kind of have this idea of like, oh, someone is calling, because they record the way that you pound the number. So it's kind of like, oh, if you're in a very big hurry, right, and you put like, ooh, boop, 911, and like they'll be able to see how fast you've pressed 911. And such. I have also learned that from like this other incident. And it was this story about this girl who was calling 911, and she was very she was panicking and she was cursing, and the fucking operator was just like, hey, I don't like that you curse. And so he just hangs up on her, and I'm just like, what a fucking asshole. But they were talking about how like, oh, they record the 911 call. They record the way that you punch 911, so they know that she was in a hurry when they look over that recording again, right? She was panicking. She was just boom, fucking punching in these numbers as fast as possible. And so, from how I've learned it, right, when I was young, and I decided, you know, I'm gonna grab the home phone and I'm gonna press 911. But I pressed end call. I didn't actually, you know, did the call because I didn't think that the call would go through. So despite me pressing 911 and then end call, the police came like 20-30 minutes later, and they're just like, hey, so somebody tried calling 911 here, just want to see what's going on in this house. And I was just like, oh shit. And that's how I found out that even when you don't call 911, they will still get the call. They'll still get the button input. And that also started the times when I look, don't report me to Chuck E. Cheese or anything, right? But when I was a kid, I after that whole incident, what I would do, I would go to the payphone in Chuck E. Cheese. God, remember when there were payphones in Chuck E. Cheese? But I would go to the payphone. And I would call 911 and then I would literally ding dong ditch 911 at Chuck E. Cheese, which, you know, it's just me being a little fucking shit, not realizing how horrible it is to be prank calling fucking operators, right? When they literally have emergencies that they need to go through, like they shouldn't have to waste their time on fucking prank calls. But I didn't know any better as a kid. I was just being a little shit. Also on her phone, it says Kirara. Is that supposed to be like the phone model or whatever? But it's also very fun that you can see how old this anime is when you see her iPhone. It's like, what is this? Like an iPhone 4 or 5 or something, maybe? Somewhere around there. When did this come out? The manga, not the anime. I have to go back on Google again. The manga started in 2014. When did the iPhone 4 came out? 2010, actually. Hold on. Now I have to go up and up. Oh, actually, is it 2014 2014 was the iPhone 6. Okay, let me look at the iPhone 6. Yeah, it's pretty much how it kind of looks. Yeah, it's still... God, remember when the iPhones were small? Oh wait, no, this is when they started doing the iPhone 6 Plus shit. Okay. Okay, so it's like an iPhone 6 or an iPhone 5, albeit it looks a little older, like an iPhone 4 or something. Whatever. Pick up the demon's presence. Hold up, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you okay? Do you have a place to stay? Stop ignoring my messages after I know you've read them. She left her unread. Utter savagery, dude. And she's just got like, her icon is just a peach. It's a butt. Alright, after a quick research, that is essentially what Momo is, a peach. So, in terms of like her name, since Mikan is a fruit, so I guess the magical girls are just named after fruits. A demon that lost their heart and became just like Baphomet. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I even went out of my way to buy a good luck charm. A good luck charm for safe childbirth? Not really sure if that good luck charm will work on anything else besides childbirth, but... So she also bought her a, Hinatsuki brand? Mikan Jam wafer cakes. Wow, that's... Now I'm just like, is that your brand, or is it just a coincidence that it's Hinatsuki brand and it's a Mikan Jam wafer cakes, tangerines and such? I don't have a spare futon. Well, you have a couch, don't you? Unless you sleep on the couch and you don't have a bed. Well, she's certainly no Baphomet, but I don't know what was up with that getup Shamiko was wearing earlier. I'm gonna need you to explain to me. So that's the first time that she seen the crisis? Yeah, because all the other times that she's done it, she alone by herself, right? The first time she did it was with the doggo, so. Sorry I scare you, especially since you're so young. You know what's so funny? That like, typically most Asians will get that for the rest of their life. The idea of like, oh, you're so young, right? You could be fucking in your 30s or something and someone will still mistake you for a high schooler. So it's just so funny that like, despite Asians getting this sort of treatment, they still ended up treating other Asians in the same way. Just assuming that they're youngins. Also, I just want to note that this whole entire thing of me, it's a little less of me taking notes and more of me having to look back on some of these things, because there was a lot of fucking dialogue that was just going fucking past my head just because it was going so fast. And I'm just over here like, I just give up on reading at some point. So, I also have so many fucking timestamps, so like, it's ridiculous. Okay, so that cuts on over here. Sports day. So we're having sports day, huh? Well, you know, we are getting close to the finale and all that. We've got to have some sort of school event to top us off on our slice of life anime. Either a sports day or a cultural festival. Did we have a pool episode yet? I don't think so. So we got to this point. You're the only one with horns around here, so you must be Yuko. And what's with the confused look on your face? Because she's just, oh yeah, I totally forgot. People would just keep calling me Shamiko this whole time. So, I totally forgot that that's my name. The only person who calls me that is my mom, which I'm like, wow, even Ryoko is calling you Shamiko. And it kind of makes me wonder if, like, will Mikan be the only person who calls her Yuko as well? Or will she eventually just turn like everybody else and just call her Shamiko and whatever? Who knows? Classic tsundere, dude. Oh, really? You'll help? Ugh, nothing good will happen to you just because you're nice to me, alright? Actually, when she says that, she means it literally. But okay. Alright, I'll talk about this whole thing about like Mikan and like her tsundere-ness in a bit, but It is very funny. I'll write down that quote just so I can remember. Of all the trash bags here, you didn't hesitate to single me out. I'm worse than all these trash bags. Confuse your ancestor with the burnable trash. So, from nearby town, you seem like the peaceful type. Pick up necessary stuff for school to transfer. I was here to safeguard Yuko. Your reaction was enough to make me jump, so please cut it out. Transferring to a different school means a huge change in your life. You would do that just for our pitiful clan of demons. Don't degrade yourself over it. Okay. Shamiko's and me is Mikan seem a lot more level-headed than Momo is. Which, I mean, in a sense, she is a little bit more level-headed than Momo, but at the same time, right, she's got the curse to make it up. Oh, but it's possible that she's hiding an obsession with training or something, right? So it's a curse. I just realized, is Momo in, like, mid-transformation or something? Because she's still in her school uniform, but her hair is up like she would in her magical girl form. I guess she would need to survive this curse, right? She's got, like, little talisman on her and everything. The idea of just she kept getting birds. People kept giving her birds. Well, sorry to be interrupt. Have you seen a girl wearing a different school? What's up with that outfit? You're like a walking billboard. This is a result of me being caught up because of Mikan's power. I'm in a hurry, so let's just put aside any questions about why you look like this. And then Anri is just like, I'm not mature enough to just ignore everything that's going on with you right now. I mean, look, it's passable as a high schooler, so that's fine. I'm just gonna let that pass. If you were an adult, I wouldn't let it pass, but... So, certain power that's very difficult for me to control. Are you the student in charge of the trash duty today? Could you take out all this trash from the shredder? Okay. I'm going to be late for the ritual, so would you mind taking these out? What are these, like crystals? And she's got like garlic here and everything. They're full of chicken feathers and a bunch of junk left over from our club activities. Gosh, she's really out here just been making elixirs. Wow, it's so light, so it is chicken feathers. Okay, let me research you. Yeah, so she's asking about the elixir, right? Hold on. Did that elixir it gave you before have any effects? Tell me. Let me research you more thoroughly sometimes. I will say, when it comes to the subtitles, I kind of wish that they color-coded it. Like, one would be yellow and the other one would be white, so they let me know who the fuck. It's like, her dialogue was on the bottom, by her. There's, all of them are just females in the... here in the scene, but I'm talking about, why can't I remember her name right now? I did not write her name in my character sheet either, so I've just... Ogura. Yeah, when Ogura was talking, the dialogue was on the bottom, and then it just moves up on top, and it's just like... My brain... very confuzzled. So an after effect of an incident I was once caught up with... been covered in wet cement. Goddamn, dude. If that wet cement dries, like, you're gonna have some stiff shoulders. Albeit for Momo, it wouldn't really matter all that much, huh? Had the pet bird of a millionaire suddenly thrust into your care? Why is the millionaire giving you the pet bird? And a lot of stuff happened, but it's okay because I found you again. It kind of makes me wonder if, like, in terms of, like, did Mikan got this curse back in elementary? Since she says that the last time she's seen Momo transform is in elementary, right? And I was like, and if they're sisters. Sorry, sisters, but not sisters, right? They're friends. And, well, actually, I don't know if like, she's the actual sister, not the actual sister, but not sisters, whatever. By her friend for now. So I was wondering if Momo has to deal with Mikan's curse for a while now, and if that's the case, I can kind of see why she is also the way that she is, and how like she kind of takes a lot of Other than the fact that she's also a magical girl, so she doesn't really particularly care about like the bigger, freakier stuff, right? In terms of how she handles Yuko. That's what I was trying to connect to. It just it's connecting in my brain, but it's just not coming out. It's not coming out correctly, but you know, you get me. Mikan's a really reliable friend. I know she'll be a big help. And then goes into the, oh yeah, nothing good comes from flashing your happy smile at me out of nowhere. Okay. I'm a demon girl, so she was just trying to reassure her, right? Just to be like, oh yeah, it's really great to have a somewhat inept magical girl. The magical girl, the inept magical girl who thought that you were too weak to fucking pound down on. So just detox your blood and wait for it. I guess because it's curse. Hold on. Nothing good will happen if you awkwardly try to cheer me up like that. Okay. Jesus Christ, I'm only halfway through. I still have so many more things that I have to look back just because there's just so many fucking things. I assume when Momo tells Mikan, right, we're gonna have a strategy meeting, I assume they're talking about the class introduction and what's going to happen. Eccentric wardrobe. What is she holding? What is that? She kind of just... Oh, okay, this is it's not eccentric at all, right? It's a simple design, that's what she says. Yeah, or one of the most orthodox appearance. Simple standard that eliminate the fluff as much as possible. They held nothing back, but never added too much when the big mascot character is crazed over and break through with a strike. Oh wait, she will avoid falling into the pitfall of quirkiness and break through with a straight punch. Okay. You were naked back at the shopping mall, weren't you? Why would you phrase it like that? I wasn't half naked. I was half naked. I wasn't naked. I was half naked. There's no point in arguing semantics. Don't try and give me that crap. There's a very stark difference in between naked and half naked. Is that supposed to be your battle for? Alright. I'm just over here like, is this just some weird odd form of slut shaming? Like, what's going on? Total breathing concentrate constant. I think that's what it is, right? The fucking full name of the movement in the move in Demon Slayer. Didn't notice the cute little hearts that Mikan gets when she saw Momo transform. I mean, she did gush about it, about like, yeah, she's such a cutie, but you stopped doing that thing you did back in elementary school. You would always do those adorable spins during your transformation. I guess we technically did see that, right? But it's in like 0.1 seconds, so like you don't even get to see it IRL. So tell me more. Back in the day, Momo would often spin around and wink during her transformation. It was so adorbs. But after making various adjustments, her transformation time became so fast, it was all just a blur. It's just 0.1 second. But it used to be slower, right? She's gotten to this point where she's able to transform within 0.1 seconds. But we won't be buying dinner. Yeah, we're going to cook instead. I remember a bunch of things, but I just forgot all of them to avoid the pain of Momo food. God, that's a form of torture right there. Dude, this fucking scene is so... God, ever since, which is last episode, right? Or 2 episodes ago, when Lilith is now being able to talk. Holy shit, dude. The amount of fucking pity. And then just this scene of her just crying, and then the filter of just her crying a fucking puddle in the house because nobody cares about her. Oh, it's so sad. Ooh, my cheeks are starting to hurt. Alright. It's not like I'm lonely or anything. Hold on, actually, I have to go and look back at this. Why are you joining us for training? Not a problem. I have a lot of time to kill until my transfer is done. Ancestor just got trapped by this huge snake that was passing by. Yeah, there's just a casual giant fucking econ over here. Or is that econ? Goddamn, dude. So I have to, so what she said above, I have to calm down. I'd feel terrible if Momo ended up having to run across the desert again? What the f- How did she get transferred to the desert? Wait, did Momo have to run across a desert to get here today? How? What happened? Did she get teleported? Like, wait, what happened? Okay. So, just calm down. You don't have to worry at all about causing any problems for me, which honestly just makes her worry even more, right? You're more than strong enough to make up for it. I believe you'll become the most powerful ally we have. Yeah, I mean, when you're in a group of Momo who's lost her power right now and Yuko, yeah, I can see that she could possibly be the most powerful ally. So you're definitely not going to set my heart aflutter by saying all that. And that Snake is just over here like, thank you for the food. I do enjoy this part where she got her tail tied up and then she's just like, well, what about that staff that you're holding, right? Her tail is pointing at the staff. Right there. What about that staff? Fun, fun, fun. Maybe the drain on her magic is worse than expected and she's panicking a bit. Okay. I hope I'll be able to at least take some of the burden off of her. At the very least, I'm going to have to learn to control my anxiety when watching the TV. You might want to consider just not watching it at all. The TV's just, behind you! Behind you! What is Momo doing? She's just got a bucket on her head and a flag that says #1 and then like a box with her staff in there. It's all wet and everything. I assume the bucket was wet, got a little water in it. Things might end up poorly if this keeps up. Well, you know that magical girls sometimes dematerialize if they use too much of their magic. Okay. Bird just literally made a nest on her head. Oh god, dude, these birds. I will say the way that these birds look, they are reminding me of a Yuri anime that's coming out this fall. Oh shit, I only have 1% of this camera. Hold on. Oh god. Magical girls have their body. Yeah. So that's what we learn. Are you aware of that much? Yes. That's why when a magical girl loses all of their magic, the bond holding their body together disappear and become unable to maintain. Okay, now that I've written that down, I was thinking about the idea of like, can you just put them back together, right? The idea of like, are they actually dead and all that? So, they're not dead. Their souls are just scattered, but it's too difficult to come back on their own. So somebody else needs to get their soul or whatever and just put them back together. Get them to form their body again. Might have been really dangerous depending on the amount. It's dangerous for me though, so I'm not planning on letting you take any. I had no idea. The priestess of the light glands have it rough these days. Why didn't she tell me about something so important? Well, you know, sometimes you just don't want people to worry about you or even look weaker than usual, right? And I think that's what Momo has been going through, right? With, especially with the way that Yuko talks about how, hold on, if I can find it. If you always live in the fear of other people seeing your weakness, then you'll never be able to make any progress in life, right? That's what Yuko says. So, you know, could still somewhat be in that fear of looking weak or being weak. If I could do a handstand roll, handstand forward roll, I wouldn't have to suffer the pain of falling flat on my back whenever we practice on the mat in gym class. Is it really that painful? I've done I've done like, I was gonna say commando rolls, but you know, it's not a handstand roll, but it's, yeah, I think it's a commando roll, right? Where you just kind of roll forward. Albeit I didn't slam on my freaking back like that, but I've had moments where I see, I don't often trip over things, and if I do trip, I'm able to regain my balance pretty quickly. Like, I've never just straight up fallen on my, well, that's a lie, but the only time I've fallen down, like, not flat on my face, but the only time that I actually fell and stuff was because somebody pushed me over, right? So, like, that's not my fault. I didn't trip by myself. But I don't really often, like, trip. Nor, well, I've never tripped, other than that one time. Which, technically, I've tripped once. But, like, I'll slip on, like, slippery flooring sometimes, but, like, I've never, like, fully slip and, like, fell on my back or fell on my face or something. Like, if I slip, I kind of just, like, spread my leg, and then I just keep myself balanced like that, and so I don't really, so I don't really fall on my back or whatever. I'm not that clumsy. But I as a kid, God, as a kid, I've had so much more pain tolerance, let me tell you. I had this it's because I've never tripped before. I had thought to myself, what if I do it myself, right? And so I would fall on purpose, like, you know, just being like, ooh, I fell or something, and then I fell on my back on blacktop. I think it's what it is, blacktop. It's like, it's like, it's firm, but it's like a little squishy, right? It's not as hard as just falling on straight concrete. But, yeah, I would try and, like, trip myself, and, like, I would do that, like, twice, 2 or 3 times, just to know how it feels to fall on your back. So I feel like it's the only time I actually know when to actually, I know how it felt to fall on your back and all that, and that's just me doing it on purpose. I suppose you could say I was just like Iruma in episode 1 of season 1 when he does that spell where he'll never trip for a day, except it's me. I'll never trip for the rest of my life unless somebody pushes me. Okay, so it can make you a little bit smarter. It can even come in handy on tests, but only if you study enough beforehand. Alright, so that was episode 8 of the Demon Girl Next Door. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. Look, you add in a tsundere into the mix, fantastic. If you're new to this channel, I love tsunderes. And, well, I love specific kinds of tsunderes. I don't particularly like violent tsunderes. You know, kind of the type of tsundere, I forgot what her name is, that pink hair girl from that, why can't I, she's like one of the more famous or infamous, like, type tsunderes where she gets very violent and all that. I say a pink hair tsundere, which is like, I don't know, would you be able to understand who that is specifically? But, you know, she was the one who summoned that guy as, like, a familiar, right? It's kind of like an isekai, when you really think about it. Because he came from another world and he gets summoned by her and as her familiar. Why can't I remember her, or why can't I remember the familiar of Zero? Is that what it was? Anyways, that girl, I don't really particularly like that sort of tsundere. Not really my thing, but I very much enjoy just, you know, these types of tsunderes where they get all bunched up in their feelings and all that, but they don't really resort to violence. They just resort to violence on words. They resort to violence with words instead. That's some good shit. Albeit, in this case, it seems like Mikan is much more of a situational tsundere, which is very funny because of her curse. She has to be a little tsundere-ish because if she takes in all these compliments and everything, right, she gets too excited and it's gotta cause curses around the people connected to her. So she has to act like a tsundere. She has to act like, I don't actually care about your compliments or the fact that you're so nice to me and everything. it kind of gives a feel of like the best of both worlds, where she's like the typical tsundere that I very much enjoy, but then there's also that low quote-unquote violent side to her, and by that I mean it's through the curse, right? She's emitting it through the curse and not actually emitting it through I'm gonna fucking pound you down. So, very fun. I really enjoy that. It's kind of like when she goes into this quote. Hold on, if I could actually, I totally forgot to put the timestamp on it, so I'm regretting that now. Alright, this is not the one I was looking for, but it's close enough, where she says, look, nothing good will happen if you keep smooth talking me, alright? And then in the quote that I wrote, she says, nothing good will happen just because you're nice to me, okay? And it's just so nice, because it's a very typical tsundere way, right? Like, look, just because you're sweet talking me and everything doesn't mean that I'm gonna fall for you or whatever. She says with a fast beating heart. So I love that, you know, she's out here saying very typical tsundere things, but she's saying that because of her curse and because she's trying to keep herself calm and not get too excited for all of these praises and compliments. And as I written in my notes, it just says, oh no, Mikan's a tsundere. Oh no, you've got two things that I like in the show, tails and tsunderes. Oh my god, just you wait until you, I mean, Yuko kind of exerts a little bit of a little tsundere-ness as well, but it's not as it's not in ways that I enjoy it. I mean, I still like it when she exudes that from time to time, but it's but the way that Mikan kind of just comes in and just showcase like her tsundere-ness side, very fun. Well, from what we've learned about Mikan, right, she has gotten this as her curse. She has gotten this as an after effect of an incident that she was once caught up with, right? And if she gets too excited or she's too distraught, unfortunate things will rain on the people connected to her. Just very interesting that it's not just going to be people around her, but it's specifically people connected to her. And I guess like an unfortunate thing, it's kind of like that millionaire giving Momo the bird to take care of, right? That's just another burden on you. And then I'm still trying to figure out the whole desert part where she's just like, I don't want Momo to run across the desert because of me again. And it's like, what happened? Did the fucking millionaire came and picked Momo up? So in the second half, where we hear from Yuko that Momo's been more pushy than usual, she's been kidnapping her every day, or technically she's been getting her to train with her every day, and it seems, especially after the whole Momo's discovery of Yuko's crisis management form, right? She wants her to utilize this form in order to help her protect the town, right? Especially Momo's getting a little bit weaker, and I really like from what Mikan says, maybe the drain on her magic is worse than expected and she's panicking a bit, right? That's why she's being a little bit pushy. That's why she called in Mikan to come and help. And it's just nice to get a little bit different side, even though we've kind of already have started to notice it, but it's nice to get someone who is very much in the know, with just Mikan, their childhood friends, right? And she was and it kind of comes to that point where she was talking about Momo's transformation and how cute she made it, and eventually it got too fast and no one will be able to see it anyways. And like Momo is over here threatening her with her cooking. And it's just very fun, and you see like this is how their relationship is. It kind of just goes on the idea that Mikan knows Momo a whole lot more than Yuko, right? Because right now Momo is pretty much putting on that face of, I'm this not really strong magical girl, but I'm still this magical girl who's going to try and not show any weakness towards Yuko, right? Try to be the kind of like the better person. You know, it's kind of like the idea of in terms of dogs, right? You know, you want to show the dog that you are I was going to say the alpha of the group, but, you know, that whole thing's been debunked many years ago. But you are the leader of the pack, or whatever, right? And if it's kind of like, especially when it comes to, like, smarter dogs, like Shiba Inus or something, right? If you don't assert your dominance over them, they're just going to walk all over you, because they're like, fuck you, right? So, maybe that's how Momo feels, right? She gotta keep up this I'm the leader of the pack form in order to I mean, and we know that Momo kind of uses that because Yuko's like, oh, I'm in this competition with you right now, and Momo is using that to fuel Yuko in order to try to get her to do stuff, kind of like in the last episode where Momo had told her, oh yeah, one of my fears is to buy it's the Sakura mochi, right? It's so spooky looking at it. Oh, by the way, it's only sold at this place and you better go get it quick because it's gonna get sold out, right? She gets Yuko to run in order to fuel her up and get her to do a little bit of running. So it kind of makes sense that she keeps this secret in terms of, magical girls sometimes dematerialize if they use too much magic. So she's kind of keeping that secret because it's a point of weakness. So it's very fun, right? And it's also comes with the idea of just because you recognize that that you have a fear of showing weakness doesn't mean that overnight it's going to be solved or whatever, right? You're still going to have that fear. It's just something that you have to overcome eventually. So it's understandable that even after we've got the whole Yuko talking about the fear of being weak, Momo is still trying to keep it hidden, even though it's kind of out in the bag. The cat's kind of out of the bag, but she's still trying to shove that cat back in the bag. But from what we've learned, after Momo, she needed to get a bit of a sleep, right? She's been using a little bit too much magic. And we've got Mikan who just says it out loud because she thought that Yuko knew, right? That magical girls sometimes dematerialize. That if they lose all of their magic, the bond holding their body together disappears and they become unable to maintain a physical form. They don't die, but their souls are scattered, and somebody can go and fucking gather them, I would assume, just because they don't die. To which, if they don't die, like, do they just remain unconscious during the time that their souls just get split apart? Or like, can they still experience stuff? A lot of a lot of questions about that one. It comes into the souls. But hey, maybe we'll get answers to that in season 2 or whatever. Who knows? But with Mikan telling her about this, Yuko is starting to understand why Momo is feeling a little desperate, that she wants Yuko to protect the city for her. Maybe when it comes to the time for her to dematerialize, she'll feel a little safer knowing that that Yuko is here to protect the city for her. Take over this role as the guardian. And then maybe later you can pick up her souls and put her back together again. If her souls get ripped out and stuff, like, does she age while her body is dematerialized? I don't know. Just a lot of small detailed questions that, again, hopefully we get answers to, or not. Doesn't really matter. It's just fun to think about it. And if it does get answered in the manga at some point, don't tell me about it. I haven't gotten there yet, so like, just don't. Stop with your keyboard right now. But towards the end, again, after Yuko hears about all of this, she tells Momo that, she's gonna train until she figures out how to transform. And I love that she ends up saying, Yuko wants Momo to acknowledge her, right? I want you to acknowledge me, but as like an adversary, all right? I want you to acknowledge me as a rival. We're enemies, okay? She wants her to acknowledge her, but like, not in a gay way. I have really enjoyed the introduction of Mikan. It will be really much more interesting to see how she's going to continue to change the dynamic that we currently have with Momo and Yuko. So I'm excited to see more. Actually, there's this other thing that I was thinking about, because somebody in the comments was talking about the seal. I wrote about it, right? But I wasn't really thinking too much about it when Momo was talking about the seal and how it came from the light magic clan. I think that's what it is, right? The Light Magic Clan, I wrote it in here somewhere. Oh, it's in episode 6, yeah. So, the barrier keeping Yuko's place concealed, protection barrier of the Light Clan, and it's an advanced level barrier. And as Momo was trying to contemplate about that, we got distracted, so we kind of just have this tidbit. So somebody was pointing it out in the comments, just talking about like, oh, the idea of the Light Clan is protecting the Yoshida family, which is an interesting thought. It's like it could just be them trying to keep them down or whatever, right? And the idea of like the Light Clan trying to keep them down even more by making people not interact with them. But the idea of it's a protection barrier, right? So it's there for protection, so someone is protecting them, but it started to wear down. And then it kind of goes back to, I don't know, episode 1 or 2 or something, when Yuko's mom was talking about like, oh, there's a secret that I have that I kept, and she talks about Yuko's father and all that. And so we still have the question about Yuko's father, like, is he also a part of the Dark Clan, or is he somehow was part of the Light Clan, right? Like, he's not here, he's not in the picture, he's disappeared off somewhere, but before he disappeared off somewhere, did he strike a contract with someone in the Light Clan or whatever? So that's a nice tidbit in terms of the world building and more of what's to come in the story. So I really like that. I really like that tidbit of the protection seal. There you go. But that's pretty much all I have. The discussions, I'll be honest, not really all that long. I just had to, all of the important things aside that they've done, that I've written down. But most of it, it's just me having to literally catch up on the episode again, just because there were so many fucking dialogue, and like, it just goes by so fast. And then just other things I mentioned before, where this anime sometimes makes me feel like I have ADHD. And I'm just like, I just can't focus on anything. I don't know what's going on. So I'll just write down the timestamps at the point where like I'm not catching anything, and I'll just look back at it later. So that's basically for the most part. But as I said, pretty good episode. Really excited to see more of Mikan. And that's it. If I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.